Hi there. Well, we finally reached our fifth video in our 5-part series of mindfulness, parenting, communication. And in this one, we're going to talk about the use of teaching tales or stories to provide the basis for themes, language, characters, and connections to optimize learning and to optimize that conversation between a child and a parent figure without talking about threatening situations that might have happened during the day that a child might feel, I can't really talk about that because that was my friend, or I don't really want to discuss my teacher telling me to be quiet and punishing me by sitting me at my desk, that kind of thing. So we give our child an opportunity to discuss issues, but they're issues related to little animals or situations in a fantasy world that have the basis in real life, but they can talk about them, express their thoughts, and express their feelings in a very open way. So why do stories have such power? Well, there's a long tradition of storytelling in a lot of presentations and things like that. But going back many generations ago, when there wasn't written word, stories were a way of teaching traditions, teaching religion, teaching facts that the next generation needed to know. And stories were a powerful way of doing that, because when we listen to a story, we have the ability to get emotionally involved. We have visual learning in the sense that we're picturing what's being told to us. We're picturing the protagonist, the antagonist, the situation. We have auditory learning, certainly. And in learning it within a story, there often are words introduced that we don't use in everyday life. And so the child or young person or an adult is hearing language that is not always usual, but is interesting and captures their attention and builds on that verbal learning. We also learn emotionally by putting ourselves in the place of a character without being threatened in that situation. If it's a story about a problem or a danger, we're not in the danger, so we're not precluded from just getting it, but we're able to emotionally connect with that and understand that I really would need to avoid that, or I would need to solve that problem, or isn't it lovely? This is beautiful. I love this idea, or this joy, or this tenderness that I'm hearing. So all very important. And then to come to a different perspective, we have kinesthetic learners who learn by doing, and they're the children who have trouble sitting still and listening in school. But we build on that in the program that I introduce in my book, Do You Know How to Talk with Your Young Child? We build on that by offering some ideas of how to do a little project after the story that maybe explains something about the story, or it just captures the characters in the story, maybe suggesting doing a little drawing of the character, or suggesting doing a little project, like if we're talking about kindness, we might think about putting out bird seed in the backyard for the birds that we were reading about and talking about in our short tale. So there are a lot of opportunities for learning in a way that's not threatening, that builds on all of the aspects of learning that we as humans have, and becomes a really nice way to interact and connect with your child at a very special time when it's just you and they listening and chatting together. It's very nice. So listening to storytelling helps us make sense of the world and our place in it in relation to the environment and the other beings in the world, including other humans. And in being able to share those thoughts and those feelings with your child by just openly discussing in a curious way what they're thinking and feeling, it gives them the opportunity to see you as a human who is interested and interesting and warm and connected to the world. What a wonderful message that is. So I just wanted to give you an example. Growing up, I lived next door to my maternal grandmother, who was a very quiet woman. I don't even know if she learned to read. She was so quiet, and she was constantly busy baking and cooking and cleaning the house and doing all of those domestic chores that women in those days were expected to do. But I like to escape from my my mother's house, and I would chase the cat over. It was my grandmother's cat, who did not like me at all because I was a little too exuberant for it. And I would chase the cat over, but really I wanted to go see my grandmother. And she would greet me at her back door, and she would pick up the terrorized cat and carry it in through the house and tell me, "Come on in, let's go out on the front porch on the swing." And so she would sit and rock the swing in what seemed to me now like the rhythm of our heartbeat. And as she would hold the cat on her lap, just long strokes along the back of the cat, and I would just put a little finger over and touch the cat, and I would be sitting up close to my grandmother. We would just relax, and she would tell stories about her Welsh background, using words like cattywampus and flibbertigibbet, and words that just captured my attention. And she gave me the greatest gift, I'm gonna choke up, of acceptance and love and interest, and as if she were fascinated by my every word, my every question, my every attempt at giving information or my take on what she was talking about. It was a fabulous gift. And that's the gift I think all children need from someone. And I hope that you'll be willing to be that person for a child in your care or in your presence. Thank you so much for listening to this series of mindful communication. And I hope you'll think about it and maybe use some of the pointers. And if you'd like some more information and details and lots of little stories that you can use, they're not full stories, they're teaching tales. They're not giving you values that you're supposed to pass on to your children. They're opening up the possibility of a value or a virtue that we might cultivate, and you make the decision about what you'd like to explain or talk about. But it would give you a chance to converse in an interesting, open way. Thank you so much. Take good care. Bye.